the last couple of times that I've talked about Oklahoma on this podcast, I've always have been befuddled with the amount of hate that Oklahoma seems to get for a program that is supposed to be irrelevant and they're going to get exposed by the SEC. It seems to be popular to hate on the Sooners. And I always keep asking myself, where are these haters coming from? I never thought Oklahoma had so many haters, but reading through the comments, I've been able to decipher who is the culprit responsible for this mass amount of Oklahoma hate. John Mateer is overrated. He's coming from the Pac-12, Mountain West into the SEC. He struggled against the best teams that Washington State played. He's not going to be good for the Sooners this year. And I keep asking, how can any quarterback be worse than what Jackson Arnold and Michael Hawkins were for the Sooners last season? Because Jackson Arnold was so bad against Tennessee, I literally thought that he and Vegas were in bed with each other, and he got paid off by Vegas to throw that game for Tennessee to win it. Because the amount of turnovers that he had, you would have thought that he was sending his helper. So John Mateer, a guy who scored 44 total touchdowns last year, more than what Oklahoma did as a team, follows his offensive coordinator from Pullman down to Norman, is all of a sudden going to forget how to play football. I just don't understand the amount of toxicity and the amount of hate around Oklahoma this year, especially when I look in the comments. I expect to see nothing but Oklahoma fans and maybe a few casual college football fans that just want to be in the know about what's going on with this program. But it seems to be a bunch of Texas fans that just for some reason have Oklahoma living rent-free in their heads. Anytime you talk about Oklahoma, Texas fans are always the first ones to comment. And Texas is supposed to be a front runner to win the national championship this year. They've been in the Final Four for the past 2 seasons. They got the best team in college football, in my opinion. They got a perfect team. So for Texas to be this worried about Oklahoma, to try to put down John Mateer, it just makes a little bit of no sense to me in the sense. I get that it's your rival, but I mean, come on. Why is Oklahoma in the headspace of Texas so much? Why are you so worried about what the Sooners have going on if you don't really have anything to be worried about? You see, the reason why Texas fans are always commenting on Oklahoma content is because they don't want to admit it, but they're afraid of what Oklahoma is about to be this year. They're talking down on John Mateer not because they hate Oklahoma, but because they know how good John Mateer has potential to be. And they know that if Oklahoma had a quarterback last season, they probably would have been a 9-10 win team, because it's hard to win games in the SEC when you're playing in a conference against literally the best teams in college football every single week, yet you're trying to win games like you're Iowa. And you can't win games being all defense and special teams and having zero quarterback play. And Texas fans know that with John Mateer following Ben Arbuckle down to Norman from Pullman, that Oklahoma's going to be a formidable team this year. That's the only way I can find any way to justify the overwhelming amount of Texas fans that I continue to see flood my comment section. Every time I talk about Oklahoma, there seems to be just as many Texas fans that are interested in Oklahoma football as there is Sooners fans interested in their own team, and it really shouldn't be that way. Texas shouldn't be worried about what Oklahoma has going on with all the momentum that they have, all the hype around Arch Manning and Steve Sarkisian and how good this program could be. So for a program like Oklahoma that's supposed to be the new Nebraska of college football, Texas fans sure are really invested into what Oklahoma has going on right now. And look, if you're a Texas fan, I understand why you're heavily invested. You should be heavily invested because you need to know the Oklahoma team that you're going to be playing this year is not going to be the one that you beat last year. This is going to be one of the most improved teams in all of college football this year. Oklahoma is going to be a 9-win team with the ceiling of possibly winning 10, 11 games if everything goes right. You got Brent Venables taking over the defensive play calling. Come on now, let's not act like Brent Venables isn't one of the best defensive minds in the sport. And then he fixed the two biggest bugaboos that held back Oklahoma's offense last year, other than injuries: quarterback play and play calling. So now it makes a lot of sense to me now why you Texas Longhorn fans are so worried about Oklahoma, because you know that when you play Oklahoma in the Red River Shootout, there's a high possibility that they beat you this year. And maybe when they beat you, you don't feel as confident about your chances winning the national championship as what you do right now. I get why you are afraid of Oklahoma. I would be too if I was you. I would be commenting as much slander, trying to bring down Oklahoma football as much as possible before the season begins, because once this season kicks off, Oklahoma is going to be kicking a lot of ass this year. What do Oklahoma fans love to say? Boomer, Sooner. And when Oklahoma plays Texas this year, they're finna be booming you Longhorn fans in the face with how shocked you're gonna look after Oklahoma beats you this year. Because that's the only way you can be this worried about your biggest rival, because you fear that Oklahoma, now having competent quarterback play, is going to be able to get right with you this year when you see them on that field. And it worries you. That's why you keep flooding my comment section. Now it makes sense. Now I understand why I see so many Longhorn logos, so many Longhorn profile pictures in my comment section, because you are afraid. Texas fans really don't hate Oklahoma. They're scared of what Oklahoma is going to be this year. And they have a great chance to beat you this season. Hey, listen, I'm not making anything up. You can call it clickbait all you want to, but every time I look in these comments, I see nothing but a lot of Longhorn fans. Hell, sometimes I be seeing more Texas fans than I be seeing Oklahoma fans. Now, I'm just saying, like, are you a Texas fan or if you are an Oklahoma fan? Because you seem to be trying to be both. Listen, if you don't want to be a Texas fan, if you want to be an Oklahoma fan and you want to join the other side, it's understandable. There's a lot to love about the Oklahoma Sooners. I'm just saying, they've been in a bunch of college football playoff games. They've dominated the Big 12. They've been a little bit more relevant than what you've been during the 2010s. It's understandable why, if you're a Texas fan, why you're interested in seeing what they got going on down in Norman, because they've been cooking this offseason. They've been getting a lot of good additions out of the transfer portal. Jaden Nod. I mean, Oklahoma is going to be a really formidable team this year. So I understand why you Texas fans have Oklahoma living rent-free in your head.